Hello everyone, welcome back to Cozy Tea. It's Rob once again with another animation process and presentation. I'm very excited to show you what I've made this time, and before we get into it, thank you so much for all the new people who came in. I got a handful of subs after my last video, so thank you for joining this little cozy corner of the internet. I hope that you stick around for a while. So yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so today I wanted to do a leaf, and I wanted to do a water animation really badly because I love water when it's animated. It looks really cool, so I wanted to partake. There's not too much to say about the actual drawing of the leaf. It did take quite a bit of time to get through just because I wanted to make sure the contrast was right on the different sides of the leaf, and I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted it to wave and where the folds would be because I was going to be doing, and as you'll see here, some very intricate things with the water and how it actually drips down the leaf. So I wanted to make sure that when I did that, it made sense via the shape of the leaf, so it wasn't just like random blue dots rolling down a green surface, if that makes sense. I spent a lot of time, going through and airbrushing and, blending the colors together and changing where the light is and where the dark parts are, and ultimately I did finally get something that kind of resembles a pea pod, but I think still looks like a leaf nonetheless, and I think the leaf looks good. So I'm proud of the leaf, and I think it does what it's supposed to do. Alright, so now we're back inside because the sun got too bright, and I'm starting to finish up the leaf a bit, work on those last pieces of the highlight, and now I'm also getting into messing around with the background. I did not know what I wanted to do for the background. At first, it was just going to be black, but I just didn't like that. And then I wanted to do maybe a different color. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go bright. I thought that conflicted way too much with the bright green of the leaf. Get into drawing the water. I didn't want to do too much of that while I was still trying to figure out the background because I wanted to make sure I was making the right choice. But since I decided to hold off on that, I'm now getting into the actual water droplets. This part is very intricate. I wanted to make sure that each frame of the water had a presence and that it looks like the water is moving. So as opposed to my last animation where I copy and pasted a lot of the same frames, I drew each frame individually by hand to give it that animated look. I like that organicness when you draw a frame one at a time. I just think it holds such a special little visual elements. I don't know, they just look so interesting that way to me. So that was the choice I went with. I went in and I did each drop. I made sure to add little splash marks once it hit the leaf because I thought that looked really cute when I played it back, and I played it back over and over and over again as I was doing this. And each one I went in and tried to make sure I spaced it enough so it was consistently moving and it didn't look like it was in slow motion or that it was going way too fast. So I think it works. I wanted to make sure in the waves of the leaf that it kind of slowed down a bit and balled up and then started to get longer as it sped down towards the tip of the leaf. And then once it got to that tip, I wanted to make sure that it kind of fell through the crevice there and downward. So that was kind of my mentality behind that. And I just started to add more droplets as it went forward to give a little bit more volume to the experience overall. So once I was done drawing the water droplets life cycle from beginning to end, I then went through each frame and added a highlight to it just to give it that extra sparkle. And I started to do them multiple at a time as I went through because I realized I would just, I don't know if it saved me time or not, but it just felt easier. So that is where we're at now. I'm gonna go ahead and let the footage catch up and play some music in the background, and I'll see you guys on the other side.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day. We're dreamers. Don't care what the others say. We're doing this in our own way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells just your type. Somehow I wanna know all about you. Deep connection lights a spark. You already know me when we dance in the dark. We're dreamers. We're living. We're dreamers. We're doing this in our way. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. Oh, we come alive. We come alive. Oh, we come alive. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. Tell me that you want me. I can see you want me by the look in your eyes. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive in the nighttime. It's something about how we dance in the moonlight. That look in your eyes, it tells me that you want me and all my loving. We come alive in the nighttime. You and I, we come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive.
I continue here drawing the water. This is the part where I start drawing like multiple droplets at a time, and I was having some issues here because of how the water was falling down the leaf. I realized that usually in real life when water touches other water, it combines into bigger droplets. So I did take that into consideration and did eventually decide to do that. But there were a couple drops that were falling around the same time, and I wanted to avoid a massive, huge drop at the bottom. I wanted to keep it fairly separated. So I had to really play around with the timing of each droplet and go back and forth until it worked and made sense to me. Even in the moments that are really, really difficult, I still find pleasure in overcoming those challenges and making this come to life. That's my mission here. And it's been a really long road trying to find exactly what it is that I wanted to do with this channel, but I think this, at least at this point, is what I'm feeling the future of Cozy Tea is going to look like. I told myself when I made this channel I was going to do something I wanted to do for the sake of me and what I cared about. I didn't want to, follow trends or jump on bandwagons because I can't stay consistent with that. All I can do is try new things and see what works, and then once I figure that out, that's where I will stand. And, that's my mission with this channel and where I want to take it. But I can only do that one video at a time. So we are now at the end of this process. I hope that you enjoyed this part so far. Now we are going to get into the presentation. I hope that you enjoy what it looks like. I'm excited to show you. So here it is. Stay cozy. I will see you next time. Peace.
Thank you.